Welcome back, everyone. We're diving headfirst into one of the most talked about, most debated, most mysterious events in history.
You guessed it. It's Roswell. July 1947. Think about it.
Okay, yeah. World War II's over. We're in this new atomic age. Kind of scary, kind of exciting, right?
Exactly. And then, boom, something crashes in the New Mexico desert.
And the stories. Oh, man. The stories. We're talking eyewitness accounts, official reports, investigations, you name it.
And the perspectives they offer are all over the map.
Which makes this deep dive even more fascinating. So, what are we looking at here? Did something truly alien crash in Roswell?
Or is there a more down-to-earth explanation? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. And honestly, you are not prepared for the twists and turns this story takes, believe me.
What I find so captivating about Roswell is, like, how it reflects the anxieties of that time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have nuclear weapons, the Cold War brewing.
Then suddenly this thing drops out of the sky. It's like a recipe for fear and fascination all in one.
Like a real-life sci-fi movie unfolding. Okay, so let's set the scene. July 4th, 1947.
Big thunderstorm over Corona, New Mexico. The kind that makes you think something big is about to happen.
And it did.
A rancher, Mac Brazel, finds debris scattered all over his land.
Yeah.
But this isn't your everyday wreckage.
Right, this stuff is weird. What did he say it was like?
He describes it as metallic, paper-thin, unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, and get this. It would return to its original shape after being crumpled.
Okay, that's not any weather balloon I've ever seen.
Exactly. So naturally, the Army Air Force gets involved. They send Major Jesse Marcel, a serious intelligence officer, to investigate.
He knows his stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. He's the guy who identifies all sorts of aircraft. American, foreign, you name it.
So he must have been pretty shocked when he saw this Roswell debris.
Shocked is an understatement. He's convinced it's something extraordinary. I mean, this guy can't place his material anywhere he knows.
Okay, but then why does the Air Force release a statement saying they found a flying disc? Wouldn't that just cause a panic?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Maybe they weren't sure what they were dealing with at first. Or maybe they just didn't realize how the public would react.
Underestimated the power of a good UFO story, maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, that press release sent everyone into a frenzy.
Roswell mania hits the headlines. But almost as quickly as it starts, the story changes.
Poof. Vanishes.
A higher-ranking general, Roger Ramey, comes in and says, nope, just a weather balloon.
And they put this evidence on display. We're talking wooden sticks, tin foil, the whole 9 yards.
Trying to make it look as mundane as possible.
Right. And even more suspicious is that witnesses, including Brazel, suddenly change their stories.
Wait, so they recant their initial statements?
Yeah. And that's where this whole cover-up idea starts to take hold.
It's like, what happened behind the scenes? What were they trying to hide so badly?
Good question. Because here's where things take a turn.
Oh, I bet I know where you're going with this. Decades later, right?
You got it. Decades later, these key figures start talking. And what they're saying goes against everything we were told.
Okay, I am so ready for this. Bring on the whistleblows.
It's like we'd go from a potential cover-up to a whole other level of strange.
Wait on me.
Allegations of a second crash site near Roswell. And this one. Well, this one involves alien bodies.
Whoa, hold up. Alien bodies. Now we're talking.
Remember how we talked about compartmentalization? Some folks believe that this second site and the bodies, it was all kept so secret that even the folks in the first investigation didn't know.
Like a secret within a secret? A cover-up on top of a cover-up?
Exactly. Layers of secrecy. And the stories about what happened at the second site, man, they're wild.
Give me the highlights.
Witnesses talking about a crashed craft like nothing they'd ever seen. Small bodies, humanoid, but with these large heads.
Okay, that's classic alien imagery right there.
And of course, the military swoops in, cleans everything up super fast.
Like a scene straight out of a movie.
Right, except these people swear it really happened. What gets me is how some details are so similar across different witnesses.
Like what?
The way they describe the bodies. Super consistent, even though they hadn't talked to each other beforehand.
Couldn't that just be, the power of suggestion? Maybe they heard rumors, saw the same news reports, and their memories kind of got mixed up over time.
That's possible, for sure. Memory's a tricky thing. But some of these folks were really credible, like Glenn Dennis, the mortician we mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah. What was his story again?
He claimed the Air Force asked him for small caskets right after Roswell.
Small, like child-sized.
Yep. And he also said he saw strange debris at the hospital when he was helping this injured airman.
Spooky.
Right. And then, get this, he says they threatened him, told him to keep quiet.
Classic cover-up tactics. But why go through all that trouble if it was just a weather balloon? I mean, it just seems so extreme.
You're telling me. And then you add in the whole destroyed evidence thing. Makes it even more suspicious.
Yeah, like they were trying to erase any trace of what really happened.
More concerned with hiding the truth than anything else. So we've got the Air Force sticking to the weather balloon story. Witnesses are saying something totally different. And then 1997 rolls around, and they release another report, this time trying to debunk the alien body claims.
Let me guess. More weather balloon shenanigans.
Not quite. This time they say the bodies were actually test dummies, anthropomorphic ones from these high-altitude parachute tests.
Hold on. Parachute tests? What, like crash test dummies?
Exactly. They called it Operation High Dive, dropping dummies from way up high to see how parachutes worked.
Okay, but that doesn't explain the alien bodies people were describing.
Here's the problem. This Operation High Dive didn't even exist until years after Roswell.
Wait, seriously? Come on, that's just weak. Why not just say they were wrong about the debris in the first place?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Makes you wonder if they were ever going to tell the truth at all.
Right. And to make things even weirder, they use this testimony from a 5-year-old kid, given like 50 years after the event, to try and back up this dummy claim.
Apparently, this kid saw plastic dolls at the crash site. The Air Force took that and ran with it, said it was proof of the dummies.
A 5-year-old from 5 decades ago? Really? I mean, come on, even a 5-year-old can tell the difference between a doll and a dummy. Plus, wouldn't they be more likely to call an alien a doll anyway?
It's definitely a reach. The Air Force trying to debunk these witness accounts, it just comes across as flimsy, unconvincing. But then there's the Rami memo.
Ah, yes, the Rami memo. Now we're talking. What's the deal with that?
Remember General Rami? The one holding up the weather balloon debris in that press conference?
Oh, yeah, that photo.
Well, in those photos, there's this memo he's holding. Turns out, it's a pretty big clue.
How so?
Stanton Friedman, he gets his hands on the original negatives of those photos.
He was like a dog with a bone when it came to this case. Always digging.
Right. And when they enhance those negatives, they see words like victims, wreck, even disc being transported.
That goes against the whole weather balloon thing, big time.
Totally contradicts it. Almost like they were trying to be sneaky, putting that info right there in plain sight.
The smoking gun.
Right. But even with all this, we're still left with a lot of questions.
It's like the more you learn about Roswell, the more you realize how messed up the whole thing is. No easy answers.
That's historical mysteries for you. We're talking about something that happened over 70 years ago. Records are gone, memories are fuzzy, and who knows what people's motivations were back then.
It's like trying to solve a puzzle, but half the pieces are missing.
Exactly. But even with those missing pieces, there's enough here to make you think. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, another piece of the puzzle pops up.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. What is it?
2013, this lost FBI memo shows up from 1950, and it's a bombshell.
Come on, don't leave me hanging. What does it say?
This memo, it was sent to J. Edgar Hoover himself, describes finding 3 saucer-shaped crafts in New Mexico.
Whoa, okay, so this is, like, from the FBI. Official.
It seems like it. And there's more. It talks about 3 bodies of human shape, but only 3 feet tall, dressed in metallic cloth of a very fine texture.
Wait, hold up. So we've got the FBI investigating something strange in New Mexico around the same time as Roswell?
Adds a whole new layer to this, doesn't it?
Hmm?
Makes you think, why didn't Hoover do more with this? Was it connected to Roswell? Or something else entirely?
This memo alone could be a whole deep dive. Dressed in metallic cloth. It's got to be some kind of spacesuit, right?
Right. It's wild. If this memo's the real deal, it means the government, way back then, knew about, maybe even was investigating alien stuff.
So where does that leave us with Roswell? Conflicting stories, missing files, cover-ups, dummies falling out of the sky. It's a lot.
It really is. Roswell. It's like this puzzle with missing pieces. A story told through time and memory, It kind of reflects what we believe about the universe, our place in it.
We got two main ideas here. Either a secret military thing went wrong and they tried to cover it up, or
it was aliens. Real extraterrestrial stuff, and the government's been hiding it all these years. What do you think?
it's tough. Both sides have some good points. But maybe there's something else. Maybe Roswell was something real, something we couldn't explain, but it wasn't a simple weather balloon or a spaceship.
Like, technology's so advanced, we didn't even have the words for it back then.
Exactly. It's like the biggest choose-your-own-ending story ever. What do you think happened? What else is out there?
That's what keeps people coming back to Roswell. It's this mystery, still unsolved. Makes you think, makes you wonder. Who knows what secrets are still hidden away?
So many possibilities. But here's a bigger question. What if we did find proof of aliens? Would we be ready for it?
That's a good one. Roswell, aliens or not, shows us that the universe is full of mysteries. And as we keep learning, we might find things that, well, change everything we thought we knew.
I think that's a great place to wrap up our Roswell deep dive. But it doesn't end here. Keep asking questions, keep looking for answers, and maybe, just maybe, the truth is out there.
Until then, keep your eyes on the sky, keep an open mind, and never stop wondering.